trend that everybody is talking about, CBD oil. Now, it comes from the cannabis plant, and many believe it can help with everything from anxiety and chronic pain to diabetes, even cancer. We're in the midst of a CBD oil boom, with products popping up everywhere. Today, Dr. Sanjay Gupta is here to investigate what exactly is CBD oil, and does it live up to the hype? But first, I asked correspondent Marcia Evacampo to find out how big CBD has truly become.
CBD. If you haven't heard of it yet, you probably will soon. The natural herb is taking the health world by storm, with sales of the new supplement expected to grow 700% in the next 2 years.
Wow, you just see great review after great review. I mean, people seem to love this stuff. 4,000 reviews. 4.5 stars.
Short for cannabidiol, CBD is a component of the cannabis plant. Yep, cannabis. But unlike marijuana, CBD does not contain any THC, the psychoactive part of the plant, so it doesn't get you high.
Over the last few years, CBD has started popping up in everything from gummies to face cream to toothpaste. There are even CBD treats for your pet.
So what does it do? Research has been limited, but proponents say CBD has all the benefits of medical marijuana without the intoxicating effects, helping with insomnia, pain management, and anxiety.
There's a revolution, a whole movement happening now with plant-based wellness, which is our primary interest. Celebrating the power of all plants, which have not been properly represented.
And the question everyone asks is it legal?
Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN's medical correspondent, the chief one, and has reported on the latest research behind CBD. So if you know what, break this down for everybody. I'd like to take your thoughts on what it really is so people can get this into their heads.
Well, you think about the cannabis plant, marijuana, it's called cannabis. It really has lots of different ingredients, but two primary ones. One is THC. That's the stuff that's the recreational drug. It's what gets people high, gives them that euphoria. And there's CBD, which is cannabidiol. It's something that doesn't cause a psychoactive component. It's believed to be a medicine. It's been used as a medicine in decades past, and it's getting this resurgence, as you just heard.
So just to be clear, we've talked about medical marijuana in the past. This is not that, right? CBD oil is being sold all over the place.
You take the plant and you can pull out certain components of it. So you're just, in this case, you're pulling out the CBD component and you're just using that. And therefore, you're not getting all those other effects that people often associate with marijuana.
Which is why I think 47 states so far have said we're okay with it. How is the medical community using CBD oil?
This is fascinating to me. I mean, if you would have asked this question 5 years ago, it would have basically been crickets. Nobody was really talking about it. Within the last 5 years, you had a medication that was sort of known colloquially as Charlotte's Web. It was for this little girl who had seizures that just could not be treated by all these different medicines she took. Her mom essentially started taking CBD herself in her kitchen sink and giving it to her daughter. That is what was known as Charlotte's Web. Within 5 years, it's gone from being that idea to now an FDA-approved drug in this country. That's fast. That's never really happened that quickly.
The government has approved one CBD oil for one indication.
Yes, and this is from the plant. This isn't synthesized in some lab. This is CBD that's actually coming from the plant, from the botanical. So that's a big deal. You actually now have something that's been considered illegal at the federal level, also part of an FDA-approved drug. That's what we're dealing with in this country.
Can you guys wrap your heads around this? This is part of the disconnect, right? The federal government says it's not legal. 47 states say it is. Kids with seizures are being treated. I mean,
and the FDA says, yes, we'll approve it. Yeah. But still at the federal level, it's illegal. What is starting to gain more traction, I think, really is what's happening with opioids in this country. What they found, Dr. Oz, was that in several states that had approved CBD legislation, they saw their opioid prescriptions start to go down. So that's an area the medical community is really, really focused on.
As a neurosurgeon, you're good at this stuff. Explain to me how CBD actually affects the body.
Well, we have all these different receptors in our bodies to basically attract and to have these components activate. But because those receptors are everywhere in the body, you could get an impact just about anywhere.
Actually, let's show this to everybody, because I made a little model to demonstrate what Sanjay is saying. CBD produces so many effects throughout the body based on the fact it can bind to receptors in so many of our different organs, right? Places as far away as the intestinal tract and your arm and your spinal column, up into your brain. And that's why people say it helps them alleviate pain, right? Maybe help with seizures. It's a pretty serious problem for a lot of folks. Anxiety, pretty common problem that we don't want to treat if we don't have to. Even withdrawal from medications, maybe even the opiates that Sanjay mentioned. Okay. But think about that. People think it can do so many things because of the CBD oil that is in there. It's touching so many parts of our body. And I love your thought that we evolved as species because we had access to these natural plants, and they understandably can affect us.
That's right. And the receptors started to evolve in our body as well. We even started making our own form of CBD in our body. But sometimes it's not enough, just like other things aren't enough in our body, and that's why some people seem to get benefits. It's interesting. I'll tell you this, I think, in part from a physician's perspective. First of all, I think that there's a legitimate medicine in here. I think we're talking about something that could actually really help people. And I worry a little bit when you start to see products like this that it could minimize the importance of what CBD could do for people, because I don't know what these products are. I don't know what's in them. I don't know how much of anything is in them. I don't know if they would actually do anything. I mean, this is CBD shampoo. If I could get shampoo like Dr. Oz's, I'd probably use it. But, you know, other than that,
I covet your hair. You should go.
I'm not sure, though. I would have a hard time if somebody came to me and said, hey, should I take this CBD product? As much reporting as I've done on it, I would still have a hard time, you know, saying it's a good idea.
So the FDA is in charge. In fact, it's charged by our nation to tell us the answer to that question. What's safe, what's not? Where are they with all these things?
So this is an illegal substance at the national level. This is
illegal.
Illegal. At the same time, as we talked about earlier, the FDA has said, you know what, we think there's enough of a benefit here that we're willing to approve a drug specifically for epilepsy that's based on CBD.
So whatever they say in the, at the highest levels, we're still not actually doing anything to stop people from using these, which is a concern to me because it's the wild, wild west. It's completely unregulated.
That's right.
So if it does have all the potential that we're talking about today, I want to understand what could be in your best interest for CBD oil. So up next, we're going to continue our investigation. How much CBD is actually in these products, and can it really work for you? We have the test results, and they might surprise you. I'm back with Dr. Sanjay Gupta investigating the CBD oil boom. It's now a $1 billion, with a B, billion-dollar industry, and CBD sales are expected to grow 700% in the next 2 years. I mean, that's shocking. Proponents say CBD can be used to treat everything from anxiety, chronic pain, to epileptic seizures, even cancer. Products like these, the ones in front of us here, they're widely available in stores and online, but are you getting what you're paying for? So where's the research? You know, I hear it talked about so much, but whenever I get called by somebody, I want to know what's the actual data that shows that it worked. You can't find that much.
It's very hard to find the data. I think on epilepsy, seizures, particularly ones that have not been treatable by existing medications, there's pretty good data. That's why the FDA approved the drug. But just about any of those other things you mentioned, the anxiety, the sleep, even pain, the CBD-only research is pretty limited. Let me say, though, part of that you shouldn't immediately say, well, it doesn't work because of that. Part of it is that the research is hard to do. If you have a substance that is illegal at the federal level, how do you get research done on it? It's very hard to get people to actually invest in that research. That's part of the problem here.
And rarely have I been called by as many people saying it's helped them.
Yeah.
These are folks who don't have a vested interest. So it makes me really curious. And as a physician, I feel frustrated that we haven't done more to help them out.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, we need to get that research done. Absolutely.
So let me introduce you to Dr. Todd Cooperman. He's founder of ConsumerLab.com. They do all the work so you don't have to. And they've tested the most popular CBD products on the market. Well, first of all, you have a lot of things you could be testing. Why did you decide to look at CBD oil?
As you were saying, CBD has become super popular. So the readers of Consumer Lab have been asking us, really, what's in these products? Because, as you mentioned, since it's illegal, if a product actually says CBD and the amount on it, the FDA will go after them, calling it an unapproved drug.
All right, let's break it down. We have all the data here. I'm fascinated to see what you got. First, we wanted to actually figure out how much CBD is in the CBD oil product.
Right.
So how much consistency was there?
Right. So we found almost over a tenfold difference between products. We found,
tenfold?
Yeah, as little as 2 milligrams to up to 22 milligrams in a suggested serving.
So some of them had this much, some of them had that much.
Right.
But it's stunning to me. Are you surprised by this?
I'm pretty surprised. I think the idea that you have no idea what you're getting, if you're even getting it at all, I mean, that's not even a real probable dose. If you need hundreds of milligrams for it to do anything, 2 milligrams is not going to do anything, and yet people are paying a lot of money for it.
What about the cost?
Yeah, so on the cost, we found that the price for a 10 milligram dose ranged from as little as 80 cents to up to $4.50 for the same amount of CBD. So again, you know, you can, if you know what to look for, you can get it for a lot less than the $4.50.
How can you have a 10 times difference in price for the same? Is it different CBD?
You know, it's really it's the amount of CBD. It's the same amount of 10 milligrams of CBD in each product. Some can have a little bit of CBDA, which is kind of a precursor, but that's really for same amount of CBD.
And what about this issue of toxins, contaminants, heavy metals?
Right. Well, good news. None of the 9 products that we tested, and these were products for people and animals taken orally as pills or liquids, none of them had any heavy metal contamination. None of them had any significant amount of THC.
So not?
No. I mean, very few products are actually labeled appropriately in terms of the amount of CBD. Most you won't know. And when you look at the labels, they often won't say the amount of CBD, so they'll use other terms like hemp extract. That typically means they are extracting some CBD from the plant, and you're getting some. If it says just hemp oil, you're getting none. Hemp oil has no CBD in it. They will often put it in hemp oil, so you'll have hemp extract with hemp oil.
Oh, my goodness.
It gets kind of confusing.
Folks, if you don't understand something these days, it's because they don't want you to understand it. Yeah. It's not an accident. Which is a problem, because I really, deep in my heart, agree with Sanjay that there's a medicinal benefit. This stuff's been around since the dawn of humanity, and I don't appreciate the fact that we can't even figure out the basic rules to give you advice with. So here's my thought. They could work. I'm hearing from too many of you right now that they're getting benefits, but their problem with how we access it. So what you ought to do? Talk to your doc about it. Get them to sit down for a second, help them figure, because they'll help you. They understand this stuff. They'll figure out which of these CBD oils might make sense from you. There are some reputable companies, I suspect, that are beginning to get into the medical community, but we've got to make this happen. And it's not going to happen from someone else doing it for you. You got to step up in your own life and do the investigation.